Yes, children. So finally, we are understanding the ideology of social liberalism. That means the people were expecting the changes in the society. I know it should be like the autocracy should come to an end. The privileges by birth has to come to an end, and they were expecting for the constitution, and there should not be any, the availability for the private property. These are the demand for this ideology of social liberalism. The next thing, if we see about the political liberalism, the ideology of political liberalism. So the coming to the politics, what the freedom or the liberal, the expectations will be of the people. That will be, of course, as we know, everyone should get the voting right. That is what, right? See, the equality before law, they were expecting that everyone should be equal before the law, and then right to vote granted to men owning property. So as I told you, people in the beginning, even in the France also, they did the same thing. That means only the propertied men had a voting right. They were only considered as a active citizens, but the remaining women and the non-propertied men were considered as a passive citizens. So same here also, the women were not allowed to vote. So this is what the political liberalism at that time. And then ideology of economic liberalism. So the coming to the economy. So what will be their demand? Yes, of course, the freedom of market from restraint. So there should not be any restrictions for the trading activity. That was the main thing. And removal of state imposed restrictions on movement of goods and capital. There should not be any restrictions on the movement of the goods, and even the capital should be avoided to improve the economy of a country. This was the main ideology of the liberalism. So you people understood about the ideology of social liberalism, and then political liberalism, and the economic liberalism. The next thing we are going to see about, and the one more thing, let us see. And the next thing we'll be seeing about the romantic liberalism. Before that, let us see here. Excuse me, children. Creation of the customs union formed at the initiative of Prussia and joined by 39 German states. So here what happened? The commonness they are creating here, the custom union. That is what they are the creation of the custom union. That means for the the taxation activities, the custom union has been formed at the initiative of the Prussia. So the initiation of the Prussia they have taken, and they have joined almost the 39 German states together, and they have formed the custom union. Okay, they have formed this custom union. See here, that's what they have mentioned, the monarchs of the member states of the German Confederation. This is what the picture we can see here. And the next thing, as we know, children, for the expansion of the trade, which is very much important. Yes, the railways expansion, because as we know, due to this expansion of railways, the cost of transportation will also be less. Yes or no? So that is the reason the train during the 18th century has been increased. The creation of a network of railways for free movements. There should be a free movement and the tax free, and the cost of transportation will be less. Okay, so that's the reason the railway networks also started to help for that. And the next thing is very much important here. Okay. Yes. This is the the sovereign. What do you mean by the sovereign? To hear this word, we are feeling like something, some kind of organization where to oppose the all these activities. No, children. So this is one of the the sovereign is one of the the customs union, that is known as the custom union or sovereign in 1834, formed by Prussia. Prussia. So as we have seen in the last time, the custom union has been started with the initiative of Prussia. So in the year of 1834, Germany was a confederation of 39 states under Napoleon. So under the Napoleon, almost the 39 states together, they have started this custom union. Hope you guys are understanding, right? This Zollverein, they have started to make this, the trading easy about this, whatever the customs they had, the duties, the taxes which they had. Okay. And the next one, it is each region had its own weights and measures. So as we have seen, this is a common thing I'm repeating every time. They had the different, the currencies, they had different weights, measures, everything. So to make it simple, they made this custom union, that is Zollverein. Okay, each region had different its own, the weights and measures. Union abolished tariff barriers and reduced the number of currencies from 30 to 2. So whatever they had, almost 30 currencies, the 30 different currencies were there. So finally they made together and made it only 2 by joining the 39 German states also. So now it's easy, right? Compared to 30, the currencies, exchanging the two currencies will be quite easier for the traders. Okay. Yes, children. And the next we are going to see about the romantic liberalism. What do you mean by this romantic liberalism? The idea of, what is the idea of this romantic liberalism? Let us see. See here, the powerful role played by culture. So this we have studied even in the French Revolution, and even in our coming to the nationalism in India also we have studied, children. So what happens here, for the illiterate people, to educate them. So people cannot read and write. So that time what happened, the language became the very much important. Language, culture, their tradition, it may be the dance, it may be their dramas, and it may be the skits, it may be the songs. Okay, so that time what happened, through these activities they'll start to ignite the feeling of freedom, the ideas of the philosophers to the people. So that is what here also started. Okay, see, that is the reason they are telling the culture played an important role in the romantic liberalism. So that time what happened, we have studied this concept in our 9th standard, children. Russian Revolution. Russia became the very powerful country and it started to control the other countries also. That is what here we can see. So when it started to control the other countries were not ready to, go under this Russian control. So that is why what happens here, let us see. Focused on emotions, intuitions, and mystical feelings. So it started to focus on the people's emotion, their feelings, their, the thoughts. They started to, started focus on their feelings of the people, and German culture to be discovered among the common people. So it has been said by Das Oak. So they're telling that the German culture, whatever the culture they had, it has to be discovered among the common people. It has to be given to the common people, and they started to discover the whatever their song, the dance, or it may be the folk songs, all those things. See here, the folk songs, folk poetry, and folk dances popularized the true spirit of the nation. So even in India also we were following this. Do you guys remember, right? So the folk songs to ignite, the feelings of the people we were used. So there also they started to do the same thing. This personality you have to remember, children, is a philosopher, Johann Gottfried Herder. Okay, Gottfried Herder. Yes. So here what happened, the collective identity. They started to give them the belongingness, the collectiveness, because as I told you, people in the beginning, they did not have any similarities, they did not have any commonalities among themselves. So that is the reason they started to make them united. So how to do that? That is what they started to do, brought about by the music, dance, and the operas. And that, that's the culture they used to follow. And opera and songs in Poland by Karol Kupicki, the popular. So finally, what they started to do, they started to use their culture to attract the people. Okay, hope you guys are understanding, no children, because the other country people, the language also started to play an important role here. See here, the Polish dance, that is Polonaise, and the mazurka played an important role. Stress on Polish are the vernacular dialects in the schools and even the churches. They started to follow this, the Polish language, because of the Russia, the other countries started to become very powerful and they started to impose the rules on the other countries also. So to overcome that, they started to give the much importance on the Polish language. See here. Yes, the paintings celebrated the romanticism. So finally, what happened? The romanticism started to even explain in the paintings the tales, the folk tales. They'll be having the stories written by the Grimm's brothers in Germany, emphasized on the feelings of collective identity. So the belongingness, this collective identity started to expand throughout the German and the Europe, because yes, the Russia started to influence on the other countries. To overcome that, this people started to give the much importance even to the common people. They started to make the feeling of the collectivism, we all are together, the collective identity, that bondage, unity, this idea they started to spread through the paintings, through the stories, through the folk tales, all those things. Okay, yes children, finally we came to an end of today's session. So let's just reglance the concept whatever we have understood today. Okay, so this is the only thing you may find it difficult, the rest other things you may find it easy. We understood about the the ideology of political liberalism, the ideology of economic liberalism, the ideology of social liberalism, all those things. And coming to the ideology of this romantic liberalism, that means here coming the collective identity, the people started to spread the collective identity towards the people in the society, because as I told you, people in the beginning, the people did not have any kind of similarities. They used to speak the different languages, they used to use the different culture, tradition, and this everything, the religion, they were not having any similarities, the commonalities among themselves. Okay, so that is the reason, to unite the people, they started to use the powerful weapon as that, the culture. Okay, through the culture, through their dance forms, through their songs, through the operas, and through the stories, the musics, everything, they started to make the people united. They started to focus on the feelings of the people. Okay, so they started to through the paintings, everything, they started to ignite the feeling of collective identity within the people. Okay, so why they are doing this, children? And the maximum they started to use the Polish language even in the schools, even in the churches, and the many church fathers the priests were punished because of that, punished because of the the Polish language. They were giving much importance, because the Russia was giving the much, the pressure on those people. Okay, that is the reason.